Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about one of the new concepts that has been introduced under the Companies Act 2013, that is associate company. So moving on, let us first discuss what the associate company is. So let us first have a look over the definition under the Companies Act. Section 2, subsection 6 of the Act defines an associate company. We are going to read the definition first in parts and we will be interpreting it. Associate company in relation to another company means a company in which that other company has a significant influence. Now, let us take an example. Suppose there are two companies, A and B. Now, if B is having a significant influence over A, then A will become the associate company of B, which is written in the first line of the definition. In relation to another company, it means a company in which that other company has a significant influence. Now here it is important that what the significant influence is, which we'll be discussing it in our later slides. Now moving on with the definition, but which is not a subsidiary company of the company having such influence and includes a joint venture company. So now the definition itself excludes subsidiary company from the ambit of an associate company, which means a subsidiary company will not be considered an associate company. Now significant influence is necessary for being an associate company, but if a holding company is having a significant influence over subsidiary company, then they will not be considered as associate companies. Now there is one inclusion in the definition, that is a joint venture company. So a joint venture company automatically becomes an associate company because it has been clearly mentioned in the definition. Now, we are going to discuss what significant influence means. So, for the purpose of this clause, significant influence means control of at least 20% of total share capital. Now, significant influence means control of at least 20%. That is, minimum is 20% of the total share capital of the company, of any company, or of business decision under an agreement. So a company is said to have a significant influence over other company if it is having control of at least 20% of total share capital of that other company, or if it controls the business decision under an agreement. Now agreement can be either oral or written, but if it is having control of business decisions of any other company, it shall be considered that the former company is having the significant influence over the later one. So now there is one explanation to this. There was a circular that has been issued by Ministry of Corporate Affairs on 25th June 2015, which clearly mentions that any share held by a company in another company in a fiduciary capacity, it shall not be counted for the purpose of determining any associate company. So here it is clearly mentioning that any company which are holding shares in another company in fiduciary capacity, it shall not be counted. So now moving on, if we'll analyze the definition more, then we'll realize that the first condition, which says 20%, at least 20% of total share capital, that is control of at least 20% of total share capital of other company. Now in the definition it has been said that a company, that is associate company, does not include a subsidiary company. So which means that significant influence should not be more than 50%, but to declare that there is a significant influence, the control shall be of more than 20%. So there comes a limit which says it shall be exceeding 20%, but it shall not exceed 50%. So this is the hidden interpretation of definition. Now, moving on. Another term that has been used in the definition or in the explanation of significant influence is control. So we'll discuss the definition of control also. It has been defined under Section 2, subsection 26 of the Companies Act 2013. Control shall include the right to appoint majority of directors or to control the management or policy decision. So either the person is having the right to appoint majority of the directors in a company, or it has a control over the management or policy decision of the company. And it can be exercisable by a single person, that is exercisable by a person or persons acting individually or in concert. It can be exercised by a single person or many persons acting in concert. Now, moving on with the definition, directly or indirectly. So again here there is a liberal interpretation of the definition, that is the control or the right to appoint majority of directors in a company. It can be exercised either directly or indirectly. Now, including by virtue of their shareholding or management rights or shareholders agreement or voting rights. Now it says that these right to appoint majority of the directors over the board or to control the management or policy decision, it can be because of the shareholding or management rights of a person, or it can also be through shareholders agreement or voting agreements. Now again, or in any other manner. So this is basically a very wide definition which includes everything by including these terms or in any other manner. So moving, we're going to discuss an example which we have actually already discussed, but again we'll see. It says if there are two companies A and B. Now A will become an associate of B if B has significant influence in A, which we have already discussed. Now what significant influence means? That means B has control of at least 20% of total share capital. But this should not exceed 50% because subsidiary company has been excluded from the definition. Or of business decision under an agreement. Now, control can be either of 20, at least 20% or above, less than 50% of total share capital, or it can be of business decision under an agreement. We have already mentioned that agreement can be either oral or written. Now, A can also be an associate of B if both the companies are joint venture companies. I think we have already discussed it in detail in the definition section. Now, moving on, one of the things that has to be noted here is a company is required to prepare its consolidated financial statement if it has one or more subsidiaries. So, that consolidated financial statement shall also include the financials of associate company, which means that apart from including the financial of subsidiary company, a company shall also include the financial of its associate companies. So this is an important note which is regarding associate company only. So I think we are done with this video, and I have already explained in detail what are associate company and what all interpretation of the definition can be made. I hope you have liked this video. If yes, then please like and subscribe. Our YouTube channel is PH Webgyan Videos, and please don't forget to share and comment on this video. Thank you.